It's Wednesday, November 18th. Welcome aboard to this edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Kevin Friel.
And I'm Len Gobeil.
We'd like to remind you right at the top that the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website. You can find them at www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
Recently, Kevin had a chance to interview Tom Lavin, a member of the Growth Management Department, and they talked about the Coastal Resource Management Program, which will be presented to the Town Council on Thursday night.
You've done a lot of good work since you've been here, Tom. Give us an update of where the Coastal Resource Management Plan is right now and where it's going to be in the next couple months.
Sure. We're thrilled to announce that the final approved version by the committee voted on it and approved it, and they're now actually submitting it tomorrow, November 19th, to the Town Council for their first read. So over the next few months or so, the Town Council will be examining the document and recommending that document, hopefully.
Will the Town Council can they make any changes, or is it a yes and no type thing? Are they going to approve it or not approve it?
It's vote to approve or not approve. Mm-hmm. So there's various recommendations for almost every department in the town, and their job will be to go through and approve what they want.
Okay. First of all, Tom, let's go back now, and could you tell us what the study area was for
Sure.
the Coastal Management Plan?
The Coastal Resource Management Plan was actually a updated version of a 1990 plan that was done on the Centerville River systems and Three Bays systems. So that's the resource area.
Okay, and could you tell us what some of the goals were of this project when you went to revise it, update it? What were some of the goals associated with that?
The main goals were addressing first of all, addressing the old plan and updating that plan, mm-hmm. and then also looking at the potential for using harbor management planning in the study area. So, and then there's also some recommendations with the temporary shellfish rec relay areas as well.
Okay, could you tell us a little bit about the discussion of access to the town resource out in the study area? Could you tell us about why it was so important for people to have more access, better access to the water?
Sure. The bottom line is that there's a lot of vested interests that are in that area, whether it be homeowners, the businesses that are associated with those homeowners, improving those parcels that they own. Then there's the public. So there's just recreational shellfishers, there's commercial shellfishers, grant holders in the study area, and the goal is to obviously find common interests with everybody in the study area.
Could you tell us what some of those common areas where people were able to come together and decide what they were trying to strive? One
of the main points that everybody could agree upon on the committee is a 13-member committee. So, and again, representing all of those interests. And the bottom line is everybody understood that water quality was a major issue. Mm-hmm. Nobody can really exist in the area happily if the water quality continues to deteriorate.
And that has a far-ranging effect on all the environment and everything that's going on in the resource area.
It does. It affects everything. Property owners don't want to have waterfront property where the water is unusable. Businesses suffer as a result of that if property owners aren't spending the money to improve those parcels again. Shell fishermen, in most cases, they do suffer to an extent. Some of the the benthic organisms do benefit from having more nutrients in the water, but the bottom line is that it's a progressive. It goes on, and eventually the water will become to the point where nothing can inhabit it. And that's not good for anybody.
Throughout your whole experience with the Coastal Resource Management group, were there any surprising things that came up that you didn't really see coming down the line at you?
No, the 1990 document that was put together by Camp Dresser McKee was really a very comprehensive document. Mm-hmm. The issues that they brought up 20 years ago are still issues that we face today in most cases. And really one of the big issues that we've had was, as you mentioned before, is access. the access points in that study area have virtually remained the same in the 20 years, with one or two sections being formally recognized by the town, but it's pretty much stayed the same.
Could you tell us a little bit about the town's direction as far as management plans go for other access areas to water in town? Do other marinas or harbors have management plans, and are there, or on top of that, is there any interest in taking a document like this and expanding it out to other areas?
Sure. That's really the hope. The goal is to take this document and use it as a basis for evaluating our other water bodies. One of my tasks for my contract was to address the municipal harbor plan and to see if one could be implemented in the study area of 3 bays in Centerville. But unfortunately, it really wasn't appropriate for this area. The main hang-up with implementing that was that local zoning has to be changed to reflect all amplifications and substitutions that would be recommended in Chapter 91 through the harbor management plan. So, that's something that would have to happen before the town went forward with that. And in general, the harbor management plans are typically used to foster development, whereas in this case, development was kind of an issue with it being, the way it is and congested. And one of the issues was, specifically it was piers. The study area is pretty close to being at a pier build-out. So, while it wasn't so much appropriate to have a harbor management plan in this area, we did have Stephen McKenna from Massachusetts Coastal Zone Management come in and speak, and he did recommend that other areas like the Hyannis Inner Harbor, could be appropriate for a harbor management plan.
While you mentioned the state, is there any? Does this body of work have to go through the state in any particular way, or have they signed off? Or
it will be sent to them. But this, it's local planning at this point. There are some recommendations for zoning, specifically with the rec relay areas, the temporary rec relay areas, which the committee actually did recommend the town council to extend till next May, which will give the council time to examine this document and then address moving forward with that issue. But it's pretty much a local effort. And they'll be forwarded over to those agencies like DEP and Mass Coastal Zone Management and Department of Fisheries, Marine Fisheries. So there are state groups that have a vested interest in what we're doing, but most of it will be dealt with in the town, the town level.
All right, Tom. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. Is there anything else you'd like to add about maybe something I didn't touch upon?
The document is up online now. If you go to Growth Management, there's a link under Boards and Committees for Coastal Resource Management, and you can find the newly revised final committee-approved draft, and also the figures are there too. So,
all right, Tom. Well, thanks a lot.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks for all that wonderful information, Kevin Friel and Tom Lavin of the Growth Management Department.
Now let's take a look at the meeting schedule for the remainder of the week. At 6 o'clock in the evening, amnesty hearing is taking place in the Town Hall hearing room. At 7 o'clock, the Zoning Board of Appeals has a meeting in the Town Hall hearing room. Also at 7, the Hyannis Main Street Historic District Commission meets in the Selectmen's Conference Room. Then at 7:30, over at the MEA Conference Room, the Shellfish Committee will meet. For Thursday, November 19th at 7 o'clock, the Town Council has a meeting in the Town Hall hearing room. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Kevin Friel.
And I'm Len Gobiel.